I have to be honest with you. I've both been looking forward to this interview and at the same time also dreading it just a little bit because for decades she has brought local news into our homes all across the region. And today, as even proclaimed by the mayor and city council of Bismarck, we celebrate Monica Hannan on her well-deserved retirement. I'm happy to say that Monica joins me this morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for making the long trip down the hall. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this. What was it that made now the time to step aside?
Well, my birthday, for one thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, that magic number was what hit. But
yeah, that's right. I turned 65,
okay.
and that's a good time to I'm unlike other people. I'm okay with being 65.
I'm with you. I'm 64. I'm not far behind you as far as turning that magic age, and it's never really bothered me. Was there a birthday that bugged you at all? Not really?
26.
26.
Seemed old to me.
Yeah. And every 26-year-old right now is going, yeah, boy, do I feel old.
For some reason, that one bothered me, but no. It bothered me a little bit when my oldest child turned 30.
See, I can see that. When all of a sudden these babies are turning 30 and they get married and they have their own children. And okay, did you all, growing up or as you went to college and got into your adult years, was journalism something that was on your radar? Or did you kind of stumble into it?
No, I didn't stumble into it. I always knew that that's what I was going to be. I can't remember a time when I didn't want to be a writer, but I thought I was going into newspaper.
Okay.
So television was a surprise.
Yeah.
I didn't intend to do that even through college. I mean, I studied journalism, did not intend, but I studied mass communications because that was what was a big deal at the school that I was at. And I was working at the Fargo Forum.
Okay. So you were a newspaper.
I was, yeah, and I was in the sports department, and I was intending to write sports.
There you go.
And I needed some credits, some hands-on credits, and I was trying to graduate early. And so because it was limited number of people that could get the actual hands-on credits in the practicum classes,
sure.
I couldn't get in because I was a junior. And so I said, well, I had done an internship right out of high school when I was going to, at the time, BJC.
Okay.
I went a year at BJC when I was editing their newspaper.
Bismarck Junior College, yeah.
Right, and I was interning here at KFYR, and so I knew some people here.
Yeah.
So I asked Melva Moline was her name, was the head of the department at Morehead State University. I said, can I just do an internship instead? And I talked her into it, and so I came here, did an internship, and as luck would have it, they had an opening in Williston, and they hired me.
There you go. We're going to talk more about all of those things, including your writing experiences as far as being an author and things like that. But it's funny how I too stumbled into this business because I was going to be a business teacher and a basketball coach in high school, and a college friend of mine said, you should take this mass communications class. I think you'd enjoy it. Bingo, here we are. I want to talk about some of the big events that have happened in the newsroom over the years. Do you recall what the newsroom was like on September 11th in 2001?
It's funny, for whatever reason, I was at church that morning.
Okay.
I had kids at Cathedral at the time, going to school there, and there was a school mass apparently, and I was at mass, and I left mass, and I had the radio on, and I heard what had happened, and I immediately came in. So normally I would not have been working that early, but I came in, and like everybody else, we were just glued to the TV all day.
Well, and I was in the building, and I wasn't in the news department at the time, but I just remember people were going, there's so much that we could cover, yet what do we cover? And I remember the airports being something that was on the radar right away, and getting that kind of, what's going on with the flights and things like that, because everything was grounded. What other big events do you remember covering locally that, I know you've been in so many election night newscasts and special events with Rick Clayburgh and things. What other things do you recall?
Big moments for me, interviewing Barbara Bush the night before the second election for her husband. Yeah, that was cool. There have been some prison breaks that I covered that just stand out, mainly because they're just big events, just so exciting.
It's one of those where you absolutely remember where you were when they
what you're
happened.
doing. Y2K. That night,
oh.
I was with the governor and the National Guard and over at Frayne Barracks that night.
That was Governor Hoeven at the time, right?
No, I think it was Governor
Was it
Schaefer.
Schaefer yet?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Governor Schaefer. Yeah, so we were there that night. Happened to be my wedding anniversary also.
Well, that's right. You're New Year's Eve, right?
Yeah, New Year's Eve. So so I instead of being with my husband, I was with these guys, of course nothing happened, but it was
Sure.
it was interesting, and we went live that night.
Okay. Well, we're going to hear from somebody now that also remembers a big moment in your broadcasting career.
I took her out for one of her first interviews, and Monica had no idea how to hold the microphone. She wanted to hold the microphone here and not go back and forth, And we happened to take her on a shoot when Lawrence Welk flew into Bismarck, and her assignment was to do an interview with Lawrence Welk. Well, she has a mic in her hand, and we're doing this interview, and she reaches out like that, and Lawrence grabs her hand. He wanted to take the mic, and he wouldn't let go of her hand. And so she's trying to pull back, and he won't let go of her hand. It was quite probably embarrassing moment for Monica, but she learned quick to not let people grab the microphone from her. So,
To hear her tell that story, you did nothing to save her.
absolutely not. No.
That is so Dwayne Walker. She can handle this on her own, right?
Well, what was funny about that was he held my hand after that. He took my hand and would not let it go. I mean, it wasn't just the microphone; it was my hand. I mean,
Exactly. I remember hearing that story. I think you told me that before. Yeah. Well, you've been a mentor to so many different people. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, I want to talk about what the plans are for Monica Hannan and the family, and talk a little bit about your career as an author as well. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.